Well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is your boy, Papa Guac, back at y'all again with another video. And while normally I'd give my normal intro spiel and all that stuff, today we're on a serious topic, which is why I have the Attitude Era Championship belt right here, because we need a good, healthy dose of attitude because of this Rajah Jackson situation. Now listen, I know everybody and their mother has made a video about this Rajah Jackson situation, and I usually don't like to follow the trends. I don't like to do what every other person is doing. I like to be my own man. But I have to give my 2 cents on the situation because it's just so fucking ridiculous, and the amount of people who are actually trying to defend this guy is absolutely insane. But unless you live under an actual rock, you should already know what happens. The footage is out there. I'll even show a clip of it right here. That's all we get, because I don't know if YouTube's going to take this video down for it or anything, because this is literally attempted murder. I mean, I was watching fucking Maven Huffman, you know, the guy from Tough Enough in WWE years ago. Yeah, he was just like, this is like borderline assault. Buddy, this is full-on attempted murder. This is beyond assault right here. What the hell? And then not only that, guys like RVD having his back and Mark Henry defending this stuff, like, what the fuck is going on? I know CTE is a thing, guys, and it's not something to joke about, but I mean, come on, is it affecting you guys that much? Because that's how garbage these takes are. And now I know some people have said, well, the guy came up and smashed a can over his head. First off, it was a gimmicked can. It was just one thing. He thought he was a worker. When they told him he wasn't a worker, separated them. You know, Psycho Stu, the wrestler in question here who got knocked out and assaulted in the ring, you know, he went up and apologized to him. We even saw that on Rajah's stream. He apologized to him like 2 or 3 times. They shook hands and everything seemed cool. Now, a lot of people will say that Rajah did this for the internet clout, his streamers calling him a bunch of pussies, a bunch of fucking suburban fucking 14-year-old kids, and a bunch of fat losers who donate money to Pokimane just to see her feet pics because they ain't good enough to get no goddamn titties. They're so anti-titties, their mom had to give them formula instead of breastfeeding their asses. You know, like, the thing is, you know, people are like, oh, he listened to them, he did this all for clout and all that shit. But there's one part that I think everybody misses, and that's during this stream, he actually got a call from his father, the legend himself, Rampage Jackson. And, well, this is how that conversation went.
Hey, yo, because when I mentioned did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights, nigga? Did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights? No. Do I need to send my goons over there? No. You was hugging on a dude in some damn tights. Man, man, you shut the fuck up. I looked at your stream, nigga, you were hugging on some dudes in some booty shorts. I wasn't fucking hugging on nobody. Making shit up. I ain't make nothing up. Alright, long as you say.
You never know, y'all keep playing with me and over there.
Now look, as a fatherless mixed kid, and yes, people have made fun of me for that, I can tell right here, right now, that is not good parenting behavior right there. Rampage Jackson, you know, I understand, you know, he's a big celebrity, you know, he's a father, his kid's a grown-ass man, you know, he wants to be sure, you know, but the way he was talking to his son right here, I think is what really set Rajah off. Now, Rajah has gone on in the past saying, you know, he's not rich, you know, his dad's rich, that's his dad's money and all that, which, I mean, is a whole nother issue we could talk about. But, you know, he's had other mental health struggles in the past. He's talked about that on stream before. And obviously having to live up to Rampage Jackson, the name of Rampage Jackson, having a father with, you know, a UFC record and as famous as he is, it's going to be hard. I mean, look what happened with fucking Bronny James. This guy got drafted as a 2nd-round pick and people got pissed off because he played like a 2nd-round pick. You know, when you have the name of LeBron James or Rampage Jackson to live up to, that's a lot of stress. But at the same time, it's not an excuse for this behavior. And that's not to say that the chat calling him a pussy and all that stupid shit isn't going to have an effect on him. But obviously after that call with his dad, that probably really set him off right there. And that, I think, was really one of the big leading factors that led up to this, on top of his chat calling him names, pussy, playing with his name, all that stuff. And we see in the chat, he's talking about how he's going to go in the ring and fuck this guy up and do all this shit. He goes in the ring, slams him as hard as he can, knocks him out, and then punches him like 26 times, I believe, full force. Now look, I'm not a fucking fighter, okay? I'm about as much a professional fighter as the goddamn 11-year-old on Call of Duty is a soldier. But, you know, I know right here that even if you're a regular person punching a guy like that full force in the face while he's unconscious, he could kill you. And he's a professional fighter who does this shit for a living. Punches from him, especially with how strong he is, it's even worse. Full-blown punches to the face like that, especially on a man who can't defend himself because he's already unconscious, can kill you. It's attempted murder. That's exactly what it is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And to all the wrestlers out there who are sitting here saying, I remember Mark Henry's take. I'll play a clip of it right here.
And it looked like he wasn't smart to what was going on. And the dude that was messing with him bit off more than he can chew. And, you got to be careful, one, who you mess with, and two, like, what kind of example are you as a veteran for inciting a ride with a kid? And he's not 12 or nothing, but he's still significantly younger. And, you want to make sure that everybody knows what we're doing.
The ID program.
It's not a bad look. It's not that's not the ID program, first of all. The ID program is so well polished and so well tempered that you would never have that problem in their system. Secondly, it's not a bad look for pro wrestling. It's a bad look for the company that he performed at, and it's a bad look for him, and it's a worse look for the guy that got beat up, because now we know you can't fight. And back in the old days, if you lost a fight, you lost your job.
For you as a professional wrestler, a former world heavyweight champion in the WWE, the biggest fucking wrestling company in the world, for you to sit here and say that stuff right there is fucking bullshit. As a wrestler, you're not prepared to fight. He thought it was all a work. All scripted, because they originally had planned for Raja to come in and do a worked punch, a little worked run in, and that'd be it. This right here was premeditation and attempted murder. That's exactly what it is, Mark. And for some people out here to make this a racial issue, now look, like I said, I'm mixed. I don't like to say that because I feel like I sound like fucking Logic. I always bringing up the fact that he's biracial.
I'm biracial.
But, as a mixed kid, me and my mom and my uncles have all talked about, the racial tension that is going on in America, especially in America right now in this country. And look, it's a very pressing issue and it's a very serious issue. But this right here is not an issue of race or anything. This is literally an issue of some grown-ass man being fucking childish, going into a professional wrestling ring where people give each other their bodies to entertain the crowd, going in there and taking liberties and assaulting and attempting to murder a guy. And for what? Because of internet clout? Because his dad called him gay on the fucking phone during the stream? Now look, shame on Rampage Jackson for treating his son like that. I don't even have a dad, and I know you're not supposed to treat your kids like that. Now maybe that's the fatherless behavior of me talking. I don't fucking know. But all I know is that wasn't right on his part, but I think that's a big part that set Raja off. And then with the fans, on his stream, his kick stream, egging him on, it just caused him to lose his shit. But even then, that's still not an excuse. You still went into a ring after a guy who apologized to you profusely, you shook hands on it, and you slammed him as hard as you could, and you punched him over 20 times, full force in the head. There is no excuse for this. We know it was premeditated. We know that you did this for the clout so people could stop playing with your name. And I understand mental health problems are a thing that he's had. Understand, I can empathize with you to a certain extent, but that does not mean I can excuse you to any extent. Now listen, as fucked up as this whole situation is, as much as I hate seeing a guy around my age going to prison and doing things like that, at the same time, we need to start holding people accountable for these things. He needs to be held accountable for this crime that he committed in full view of everybody in that crowd and everybody on Kick. We need to hold this man accountable. In a world where people don't want to be held accountable anymore, we need to hold Raja accountable to this. This isn't an issue of race. This isn't an issue of anything. This is literally an issue of a guy who took it too far in the ring with another guy. However, this is just my opinion on the entire thing. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyways, that's the quick video I want to put out for you guys today. Before you go, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell, also liking this video, and sharing it with your friends. And I know I popped some jokes in here and there, in this video. That's just my style. But, this is not a joking matter. This is very serious, and I hope Psycho Stu and his family, I wish them the best. I wish a speedy recovery and everything like that. And look, Raja Jackson, You know, I empathize with you to a certain extent. I know you've had mental health struggles, different things like that, but this is not an excuse for any of that, man. We got to start holding each other accountable. You're a grown man. You're better than this. Anyways, I thank y'all for watching the video today. More videos coming soon, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Damn it.